What's up, guys and gals? This is Dominic D'Angelo of Brass Ring Media, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Daily Wrestling Hotline. Yes, it's in homage to that man right there, me and Gene Okerlund in the classic WCW Hotline. Now, obviously, there's no phone lines, there's no 900 number, despite the little thing down there. But I am open to suggestions. And I've seen shows online that do happen to have like a live stream and then actually take live callers. It is something I'm not necessarily against, but how it would be executed would have to be, I'd have to kind of filter or what's the word, vet, so to speak, some calls and make sure that they're legitimate. They are not going to be weird or out of line of what YouTube requires. So, thinking about a couple things potentially to maybe make it a little more interactive. But for now, this is what I'm doing. I'm just going to, and it's not necessarily a hotline to, so to speak, where I'm going to give you scoops. Sometimes I hopefully will. That'd be great, right? Uh, but I plan to do this at least every Monday through Friday. And it's only going to be a short 10-minute kind of thing, 10, 15 minutes, where I just give my thoughts on maybe one particular topic or a couple of topics. I saw this was in the news today, and it kind of intrigued me a little bit. I believe, let me see here. So it has to deal with El Grande Americano. And the aspect of the gimmick itself, is it offensive? Is it out of line? Uh, you have just a American guy in Chad Gable, allegedly portraying this El Grande Americano, and them taking liberties with some stuff. I think he hails from the Gulf of America. I think he obviously insults the luchador tradition and aspects like that. But is it offensive? Is it out of line for what we see today? Uh, is it good for WWE to do? Um, those are the questions being asked. I think. Help me. Hold on a second. But I do think the aspect of it, or is it entertaining? Does it add to the storytelling? What is intriguing or offensive about it exactly? People might have their opinions. There is a contingency that tends to happen online, a vocal minority, if you will, when you concern yourself with social media, that this is an offensive gimmick and that this is not what they decide to do with the gimmick and El Grande Americano and how he's handled on television. Some may try to make the argument online that it is an offensive gimmick. Well, I am going to highly disagree with that notion. I do not think this gimmick is offensive. I think it is, it might hinge on some aspects that people will maybe take umbrage with. And I do think that overall, though, it portrays it's classic wrestling stuff. If you put certain gimmicks in today's world, they necessarily wouldn't work by the eye, so to speak, or by the eye test, by what we know as the curtain gets peeled back in certain ways. And what I mean by that is you look at somebody maybe like a Yokozuna, uh, he would kind of fit into this realm of how we view El Grande Americano. Obviously he was supposed to play a sumo wrestler from Japan. It's not that. He's part of the bloodline. And WWE embraces that notion that Yokozuna was a part of that bloodline nowadays. Um, I also think though, but you look at how many other gimmicks. Now I know they're heavy-handed with the aspect like, okay, come on, we know this is Chad Gable behind that mask, and he is exploiting this luchador tradition for his own benefit and to try to get back at guys like Rey Mysterio and Penta and Ray Phoenix and you name it. He does not like luchadors. Uh, but hey, Chad Gable is a villain. He's a bad guy. He has been a bad guy. This is part of his bank. Um, and you know what? What great compliments he has across the ring in somebody like a Penta, somebody like a Ray Phoenix, somebody like a Ray Mysterio. Um, so, do you guys think and gals think that ultimately El Grande Americano is going to come out on top of all this? Is that good storytelling if he does? No, probably not. It isn't because I mean, good over try should always triumph over evil. And who's one of the ultimate good guys in pro wrestling? That's this guy right up top, Rey Mysterio. You know, uh I think this is just a moment where people want to complain about something. And they're trying to get it here when it comes to El Grande Americano. They want to find something to be upset about. If you were to necessarily really dive into who these people are online that are really complaining, that are making these notions about how dumb this gimmick is, or how offended people should be, or how dated or out of touch it is, or whatever it is. I don't think this is really at the top of their priority lists of what is they're really offended by. I think this is just a case for people that like to complain online about things. And, you know, I just really think this harkens back to some of the old classic kind of uh, easily hot button issues in pro wrestling. And this is not really like that much of I would say, a hot button issue. I think it's something that can raise some eyebrows in certain ways, considering today's world and everything like that. But to think that this is going to be something where it's just like, oh my gosh, can you imagine this? Remember that Grande Americano gimmick? How horrible was that? I think he is the perfect antagonist to guys that we get with Rey Mysterio, Penta, and Ray Phoenix. And look, they just bought AAA. Why wouldn't you have somebody in that role that is insulted and tries to disrespect the history of lucha libre? Like, it makes sense to have somebody like this. And it's Chad Gable, who is super entertaining, knows who he is, but can also is so versatile, not just in the ring, but as a persona and character. Um, so this is a quote I did want to pull up. WCW mainstay, this is from Inside the Ropes, by the way. Conan recently spoke about El Grande Americano on K100 and revealed that while answering a fan query that he was supposed to work with the promotion's newest luchador, though plans were eventually scrapped. While discussing an in-depth Disco Inferno suggested that WWE could have used Conan as a mysterious figure whom Gable met in Mexico. Conan stated that was unlikely, as he would have had more than a one-off appearance. He said, "I don't know what I was going to do, but I was supposed to be a part of it. I hardly doubt that's what they would have used me for, but go ahead," he said. There was another thing. There was another quote Conan had about the El Grande Americano gimmick. I'm trying to see if I can find it here. Let me just type in real quick what it is. But like, Conan has his ties with Lucha Libre, is a legend in Lucha Libre basically, and so he understands the name of the game, and I think it's just a whole mess about nothing when it comes to what people get upset about here. Dang it! Of all the times I can't find this thing, and I can't remember where it was. But Conan basically said the same thing, where it's just like, yeah, people are just looking for something to be upset about. He basically paraphrased. I'm paraphrasing this, but he said it's like somebody gets a gold bar, and you're going to be like, oh, there's a chip in it. You're still complaining about a gold bar. It's not. I don't know. It seems to be offended by something like this. Everybody has their own opinions and their thought process. but I do not think this is an offensive gimmick that is going to really shake and hurt, intentionally, like maliciously hurt the Latin American culture, the lucha libre culture, anything to that effect. I think this is something that, hey, we're going to see Rey Mysterio or a Penta or Ray Phoenix come out on top in all this situation, and El Grande Americano will be showing his ass. So that's what I'm going to do for the first episode of the Hotline. So, yes, if you guys have suggestions or want topics covered or anything fun like that, feel free to chime on in. But I'll try to keep it current, relevant, and somewhat evergreen in certain ways, But we'll be speaking on a lot of different things but want to keep them short, want to keep them fun, and hope you guys had fun. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, get the word out about Brass Ring Media and the channel. If you're interested, sign up for the Patreon right there. Zach Haydorn and his crew do fantastic work. You can see written material on there. I'm going to start writing some stuff for them, but wanted to get this episode out and get the ball rolling in this new era for the channel, for Brass Ring Media, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Happy that you guys are tuning in, and thank you very much for tuning in and giving good feedback. If you're interested, please tune in to rvdtv.com. Check out the new episode I just did with RVD, Taz, and Katie Forbes, as we all share some fond memories about Sabu and the legacy he's left on the wrestling business. And also tune into my other show, Rumor and Innuendo, every Monday through Friday, live on YouTube to ad-free shows. And then you can also catch it wherever you get your podcasts. Rumor and Innuendo, you get your daily fix. Me and Robert Karpelis, we go more in depth on the daily wrestling news, so you can get that there. But thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you next time here on the Daily Pro Wrestling Hotline.